I can shotgun this thing without spilling a drop, by the way. I do it in my bedroom 7 times a day. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Wow. Very impressive.
Not a drop spilled.
It's really like Bert never left, you know?
Just bringing my Bert qualities to the table here.
That's really great, man. You do that 7 times a day in your apartment? I believe you.
100%. Cheers.
This episode is brought to you by Saatva. Saatva is my absolute favorite mattress company. You deserve to sleep on a high-quality mattress that you love and that helps you sleep great so you feel great and you're ready to take on your day. People are sleeping on these garbage mattresses. They tell me all the time. Or they're doing something even worse. They're spending outrageous sums of money to get what they believe is a quality mattress when it in fact is not. Saatva has you covered. Get the traditional luxury firm Saatva mattress. It's like sleeping at a Four Seasons. Or maybe you like memory foam. Get their Lumen Leaf. Or maybe you want the mattress to move up and down for you, like I do. Get the Solaire. They're going to hook you up. Go to Saatva, SAATVA.com/theshit, and you get $200 off any mattress of your choice. There's really nothing better out there. Environmentally friendly, great customer service, mattress takeaway service. Go to Saatva, SAATVA.com/theshit, and get $200 off any mattress of your choice. Guess who gets to talk this week? So happy that Bert's not here. And it's good for him and his career. Obviously, he's going to be a movie star, which will definitely bump up this views. Real happy about that. He's in Serbia with Mark Hamill shooting the Machine movie, which I've said in other places that I think I speak for all of us when I say we hope it's the end of this fucking story finally.
It's the Star Wars or the Machine?
Both. But no, it's I'm thrilled for him, but it's fun to be able to bring other people in here. So Josh Potter is joining today. Thanks for
having me. I didn't know if I was going to have to do a whole shit ton of blow just to get going, start telling you about my party planning business and stuff.
Is it weird to not have 7 drinks in front of you? Because that's what I usually see.
I didn't even put my one drink in front of me. It's sitting, it's hidden.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to have some product placement out today. I was getting ready to shotgun some of it for you just to be on par with who sits in the seat.
It's not under contract, but if you would like to shotgun something, we can definitely pull it out.
Bring it up, baby. Let's rock and roll. I've done them so often now.
Can we get him a drink?
I mean, I have one here, but yes.
Is it on wires?
It's not. I managed to not spill it on wires.
Okay.
Oh, it's completely flat. Oh, God.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Don't even.
It's in my blind side.
I know. It's totally fine.
I reached. Well, that was my mistake for reaching for it.
There's still some in there.
Cool.
There you go.
Can't wait. I don't even care anymore about when I do things like that blindly.
You shouldn't.
Because it's gonna only get worse.
Jesus.
That was after that. That was the way you passed it.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of an
These
asshole,
are the people
man.
These are the people that watch me do stuff like that. And then they're like, "Yo, catch!" and they throw something.
You're like, "What the fuck?"
I move. I'm like, "What are you trying to do?" Sorry, I'm not even helping.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just trying to lift the wire from being.
It's actually. Oh yeah. Good instinct, buddy.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. And don't cut this out.
What a way to begin.
Well, it is the perfect segue.
God, this is why I need a family, because it's going to get worse and I need people around me.
Yeah. Well,
because pretty soon just spilling drinks is going to turn into walking into traffic. It's going to turn into
your family
falling downstairs.
You might start a family this weekend, you know?
That would be cool.
At this point, we're going to be a few weeks after this comes out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But what I'm saying is you're traveling this week.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am going someplace. I don't want to.
You don't have to get too specific.
Any presumptions on the thing, but every time I travel, there is the opportunity that a family could arise.
Yeah.
So that's the way I always like to look at it. Every time I get on a plane, I go, I could leave this city with a family.
People are often surprised that you are a ladies' man.
Thank you. I don't like to self-describe myself as such.
They don't, but I'll tell you this, as somebody that's been around you quite a bit and traveled with you literally around the world.
Yeah.
It's not a bit. It's you fucking, no, it's impressive. It's impressive. I tell people all the time.
I don't know why it is. And people like to ask, and they think I'm going to be able to, expound some wisdom upon them the way
course,
that,
they all
like
want
a
to be
guy
able
with
to do with
mascara and feathers in my head or whatever, that idiot.
Yeah.
But no, I have
you
no
gotta
tips.
neg him, bro. Don't compliment that bitch.
Shit on that fucking bitch first.
Yeah.
That way
That's
she know
not
you
your
don't give
style.
a fuck.
That's
No.
not your style at all.
Not at all.
I've seen that, and I gotta tell you, as much as it sadly works, and I've seen it work with certain guys and certain women, it is not your style. You're not.
I don't have the energy for that, even just in comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I can't even sit down at the table and be like, nice shirt, fuck face, or whatever you know what I mean? I don't have the energy.
No, how would you describe your approach to success with women? I don't even know how to describe. I feel like it's literally just.
They have such low expectations of me. I think that bodes in my favor already. If I can exceed that bar, which is so easy to do with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Then I'm golden. And then they think they found they're like, this is a secret.
Oh, right.
But then I turn out to be, genuinely like most shitheads probably, at the end of the day, where it's like, I'm not going to marry him, but I'll fuck him until I get bored.
Yeah.
So.
And you're perfectly content with that.
That's fine. Yeah. I don't get angry about it.
And that you're content with that, but you are now, maybe it's age, maybe it's this past year, the pandemic. You're now at the place where you're also like, maybe I would like something more
No,
stable.
yeah. I mean, again, I have been so alone for the past year and a half that I'm like, I got to start a family, especially with the accidents I've been having.
Yeah, so
this is my eyesight.
this was a pretty...
Watch, I can shotgun this thing without spilling a drop, by the way. I do it in my bedroom 7 times a day. I'll show you. I can't pick this up without spilling it. I can do this. Now, this can is a little absurd. But, and Nadav did throw it, for the record. So I'm going to do
I
this.
slid it.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
We have a clean insertion.
Okay.
So no worries. This is the easiest
all right.
part.
I was nervous about the knife. Okay.
What about it?
Just nothing.
Ta-da!
Wow. Very impressive.
Not a drop spilled.
It's really like Bert never left,
Just bringing my Bert qualities to the table here.
That's really great, man. You do that 7 times a day in your apartment. I believe you.
It's the most. I can't drink a beer normally anymore.
Wait, so hold on.
I drink it just I just crack. I do it right on my Twitch.
So you accidentally knocked over the Red Bull, and you
That's what happens when you leave drinks around. So I got a shotgun it.
That's true. You had texted me this thing, and I started to see a little bit of a clip of it on Instagram, but I didn't even want to watch it because I was so excited when you texted me this that I was like, I can't wait to see him in person for you to tell me like in detail what happened.
I'm getting more blind, turns out, or I'm just getting older. I don't really know what it is. We saw me spill that, obviously. Things like that are happening all the time. I'm walking into the side of the dresser. I'm doing things like that lately. Allie Makovsky had me come over to do her podcast, and she tapes it up in like the hills somewhere. It's not like her house. I don't know whose house it is.
But you take it, an Uber there or something?
I took an Uber there. I was already running late. I get there. I don't know Allie Makovsky, by the way, very well. We've seen each other. We've met, but we haven't like ever had a conversation before.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like a nice to meet you situation. And I get to the door. First of all, the Uber drops me off like a block. Not a block, like there's no blocks up there in the hills, but it might as well have been like 9 houses away. So I'm like, I hear her yelling. I can't see. It's dark. I hear her going like, Josh. And I'm like, I'm just wandering around like an asshole in the street
looking
going
around.
like, I'm trying to figure it out.
To be fair, for a person with good vision, the hills kind of neighborhoods
It's a dark
it's totally confusing and it's easy to get lost up there.
So it's super dark. And so we get to where she tapes it. And she walks me into this gate, which is, by the way, the facade is a structure. It is not just like a fence. It is whatever that kind of Spanish concrete, whatever that shit is, where it's like Art Deco or whatever. I don't know, thinking about concrete. But it is like that. So I feel like I'm walking into a home, not walking into a yard.
Right.
Essentially.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in the yard and now I'm walking into the house.
Now you're in the house. Okay.
The foyer, I thought.
Right.
So I get in the house and I walk to the side, as you do in a stranger's home, you know, like thinking like, I don't know where I'm going, so I'll just like let someone lead the way.
Sure.
So I kind of walk up off to the side. There's things on there, like little shoes or whatever. And I walk and I take one step and I fall into a moat. Like straight in. Completely submerged.
Submerged.
8-foot moat. Like this moat, I touched the bottom and remember pushing myself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
So you essentially, it's like you walked into someone's
It's like
pool, basically.
I pencil dove into a pool, the deep end of a pool. And then I just like pulled myself out and I'm like, I can't believe that just happened. And I'm just like, I'm all right. Like I say it in the clip here. I'm like, I'm soaking wet in that clip, by the way. I took off.
Yeah, I can see.
I had another shirt on over that shirt that I was just like, fuck it. I took that off.
So right here, you're fresh out of that moat.
Well, I mean, I went to the bathroom and like wrang out all of my clothes the best that I could.
Are you sitting on a towel?
Yeah, a couple towels actually. And then I was like, should I sit back? There's at one point they show the moat in this clip. I don't know if you can pan around and find it, the still, so you could see the kind of, but it was dark at the time. So if it was the daytime, I would have seen it.
Right.
Hands up. It was dark. Yeah. And I thought I was just walking on a different color floor. And I swear I remember just my foot stepping in and I go, that's water? And then I just went all the way, because she even said, she was like, I'm surprised there's the moat right there. That's what I walked into. So it's actually open air. Did not know that when I got in there, because I was completely pitch black.
So when you walk through that gate, you're walking obviously this way towards us, right?
Yes, and there was that concrete slab, and to me it looked like that was something in the way, and I needed to walk around it.
Oh, so on either side is water
of
the slab. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could see there on the slab, the water goes underneath the slab. That's its bridge. There wasn't the toys and I would have seen a beach ball.
Sure.
Shit. But
when you came out though, did you want to die? Like
I came out at first and we just looked at each other and I was like, what happens now? I don't even know.
Yeah.
And of course I want, I don't get embarrassed, but that was easily the most, because it's like, if it was like,
isn't there something?
Give me an example. If it was like fucking, I don't know, Earl Skakel's podcast, I would have been like, sorry, I fell in your moat, Earl.
Yeah.
But Allie's like a cool girl. Like I'm like nervous a little bit
there's
around
something
her.
Different about being embarrassed in front of a woman.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
That you don't know.
That you don't know.
Especially.
Yes.
So it's
and how did she? Was she like? What did she?
I couldn't even imagine when I first looked at her. I just saw her face and she was like, but she on the pot. I mean, we did a whole podcast afterwards, so we kind of flushed it out. But she even said, she was like, you walked into it so like almost confidently that I thought that was like your thing. Like you were like you're like the new Steve-O or something and you're just doing like a bit.
And you're like,
she goes, is he doing a bit right now? Like she really like at first.
Wow.
But I got out and I'm like, I was so cold. It was freezing, by the way.
Oh, that's
and
way
I'm like,
worse.
I was talking in like I was in Titanic where I couldn't, like I was like, I am so sorry. And she's like, oh my God. And like, she goes, is your phone okay? And thankfully it was.
Wow. That's really,
I can't believe the case that I have.
And that's really a thoughtful question too.
Yeah. She immediately, that was the first thing and it was in my back pocket.
Yeah.
I had like it on with my headphones still. And like, I had a mask. I had everything still on me.
Fully submerged.
Fully clothed and all the way under, dude. Jesus. And then pulled myself out like I was the fucking chicken Fast Eyes at Ridgemont High out of that thing.
But do you also
she even
feel
said,
like
she was like, how did you not hit your head or something?
Yeah.
Trying to like, because this is the thing about being blind for so long. When you make a mistake, you have to go all in because otherwise that's how you hurt yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So once I felt my foot in the water, all of me's got to go in that water because otherwise if I go, oh, I'm all of a sudden I crack my head on the side of the
water. It was actually, yes. I've experienced the same thing with like these injuries where I go don't fight against something that's just let things happen. Yeah. Let movements happen because my fear is that overcompensating for a little mistake could lead to like cracking my fucking head on something.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if I tried to like, cause it's narrow. Imagine if I just fucking cracked my skull on the
Oh
side of it,
my
and then I'm
God.
just floating in that boat.
Oh, man.
Blood's everywhere.
know.
Dude. What would she do?
She would be like,
I just
dude,
met her for 5 minutes.
pull
It's
out
not
your
even
fucking
her house.
camera. Pull out your
She
camera
just
right now.
tapes her podcast there. She has to tell the owner of the house, and some
guy's
blind guy
dead.
just fucking smashed his face into the side of it.
And the guy's like, what are you talking about? She's like, here, I'm going to send you this picture. You're
dude,
just like floating.
I kind of wish that happened to me so many reasons, but because of the fact that she would have had to explain that to
Yeah.
people, that would have been the best bit of all time.
Oh
is
my
if I
God.
fucking
And it-
cracked my skull
It would
on
be
there.
worse too if you had cracked your shit, bled and everything, but you're paralyzed but not dead. And then you wake up more blind and like and doing one of those like
I show up to the
like
comedy
tubes.
store. Hey, Allie. I have to like be the reminder.
the store has to build a ramp to the stage for you. the Potter fucking ramp.
Can't do shows in the belly room.
Like you're like he has to do the main
They
room.
have to get all the door guys have to carry me up there.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God. I think it would have been more. I think it would have. I mean, shit. I should just get one of those now.
That was a great set.
You know what? I think that should just be my mode of transportation in preparation. You know, like why wait till I get paralyzed? I mean, it is inevitable the way
Just start doing it.
I'm I'm Mr. Magooing into moats already. I might as well just get the chair, and learn how to use it now while I can still function. I just would have liked if I would have died and then she would have like maybe been accused of it. That would have been
dude.
a real nightmare for her to have to like figure that out.
What if you reached out right now to your upcoming dates and just go, "You guys got a wheelchair ramp?" They're like, "What?"
I think a lot of them do, to be honest with you,
Well, if it's a new building, yes, but I'm sure that a lot of like the
because I've
old
seen a lot
places-
of wheelchair comics at clubs.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like at mics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think like either they go up the ramp or someone helps them.
It's gotta like because we know what most club owners are like. They're just pieces of shit, you know.
Yeah.
And like it's got to be so annoying the first time they're like, "Hey, do you have a ramp?" Because there's a guy that wants to do a spot, and they're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake,
I
man."
could. I'm not going to, but I could name at least 4 of them that were like, I have to hire this goddamn interpreter to do sign language.
Yes.
They hate that. They hate when
hate
that
it.
happens.
Yep.
But one deaf person comes in and they got to do it.
Oh yeah, state of California, like that is a. I mean, I don't know how if it's a national thing, but I know in the state of California, it is a law.
Yeah, it's
that
in
if
New
you-
York a lot too.
You
I
call
believe.
and they're go like, "Coming tonight, want an interpreter?" They're like, "Okay, no problem."
I don't mind it. Obviously,
It's
we
great.
had one.
Doing
We had one
stand-
in here, I believe, somewhere. But
Yeah, we've had it multiple times. I mean, when you're doing
it's-
stand up,
the ones that get a little too like. It's like, all right, man, are
Performative.
you the comic?
yeah,
The way that they're like acting out your jokes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, well, they got really into that pedophile one. That was-
yeah,
it's fun to make them sign heinous shit too.
it's the most fun.
Yeah, that's the best part of
You're
it.
like Hitler was chill. And
Yeah, and they're like, oh god, they gotta fucking.
yeah, yeah, so fun.
But yeah, so I mean, you can listen to the story and its immediacy after it happened on
Well, just-
Ali Makovsky's podcast.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Just because we just teased it, where are you in May? Where are
Oh,
you
in
gonna
May,
be?
I'm going to be May 6th through 8th. I think that's after when this comes out.
Yeah.
I will be at the American Comedy Company again. I was there
You
last
just sold
month.
it out.
Yeah, 2 shows, so I'm doing 5 now. So hopefully the people, I mean, it's limited capacity.
Yeah, but
we
still.
could see if we can get 5 shows sold. That'd be wonderful. And then May 13th, Omaha Funny Bone. And then June 9th and 10th, I'll be in Florida again. And I'm doing Tampa on the 9th and Orlando on the 10th. And you can get tickets in my link tree on my Twitter and my Instagram.
And the handle for those is what? Josh Potter.
At J_Potter for Twitter, at Josh_Potter for Instagram. Google me. I'm on those.
Is it kind of wild to you that you're selling places out? Like, I don't care that it's, limited.
No,
whatever,
of course.
but-
It's wild to sell any tickets. And thank
Yeah.
you so much for that, because I
No.
wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't for you. I mean,
Well, this
obviously,
was
I know
the-
I have to take the baton and run, but
But this is the platform, but you're the one that's the reason they're buying the
yeah, I mean,
tickets.
it's all I've literally ever wanted. So it's like,
Yeah, it's
so
pretty awesome,
amazing.
man.
And I hate 2020 for stealing the first opportunity of it away from me, but now it's
Now
coming
we're back.
and hopefully people still care and we'll keep buying.
Oh, they
tickets.
do. I mean, I think that like my prediction is that this next 18 months are going to be insane.
Dude,
for
people love coming
performances.
out already. I can just tell.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go out too. And well, when this comes out, one of the clubs around here is going to be open again. But I just got word last night that it's opening up in a week, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
I've locked down so much shit because I know what the competition's going to be. Like,
What do you mean?
if you go like I've talked to some comics.
Entertainment in general?
Yeah, I've talked to comics and stuff, and I go, how far out are you booked? And they're like, oh, I'm just waiting for this and that. I'm like, you realize that none of those venues will be available, right? Like, you're competing with every other comic who needs to book a tour, every Broadway style show, we're all going out again.
Yeah.
And like people who are sleeping on booking stuff, and like, dude, it's going to be gone.
You know what's wild to me is during the pandemic, the shittiest bookers pre-pandemic thrived.
Yeah.
Because they would put on shitty shows still somewhere.
Sure.
And they were the only things going on. So I feel like people are so like starved for entertainment that now venues are going to exist in more places. And I think like, yeah, there's going to be a shit ton of them that close because of all of this. But I think like things are going to spring up because of
Definitely.
resurgence. You know?
Definitely. Not in LA, but everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. I'll move to fucking I feel like there's more comedy happening in Wyoming at this point, but
Yeah, LA seems like it's... We are supported by Pandora. You know, mom means different things to different people. I don't know how you feel about your mom, but probably pretty special, right? I mean, she pushed you out or you were removed from her, and then she nurtured and loved you and helped shape the person you are today. Any kindness or empathy that you have is probably a result of her and not your dad, right? So you need to do something to show her how much she means to you and how much you adore her. And this season, Pandora has gifts for every mom with new designs in their collection of contemporary classics. Pandora offers more than just charms with a wide variety of rings, necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. Jewelry can be customized to fit all styles and personalities. Hook your mom up. Come on, you got to show her that you love her. Thank the mom in your life for always being there with a sparkling gift from Pandora Jewelry. Go to us.pandora.net/bears to start shopping or find a store near you. That's us.pandora.net/bears. We are supported by Policygenius. It's May and things are blooming. Why not see if your home and auto insurance savings can bloom too? We're almost halfway through the year. Head into June with one less thing to worry about. Here is what you have to do. Policygenius makes it easy to compare home and auto insurance in one place. They help you find home and auto coverage similar to what you have now, but at a lower price. They've saved shoppers up to $1,055 per year over what they were paying for home and auto insurance. I think the best part of this whole thing is once they do the comparison, once you see what they send you and they go like, oh, you could save money by going here, their team will handle the paperwork to set your new policy up or switch over to your current one. Doesn't that just feel amazing that you don't have to deal with that burden? They do it for you. Head to policygenius.com to get started right now. Policygenius, when it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right.
I've only lived here since the end of 2017, and it's been alarming.
But do you see, not let's say removed from comedy, a decline of the city?
Yeah. I live in East Hollywood.
Yeah.
I just watched a domestic violence incident outside my apartment at 11 a.m. yesterday.
Let's start at the beginning. Go ahead.
It was pretty run of the mill. I thought it was just a bipolar woman, as you see.
Mm-hmm. They're out there.
But then I was talking to one of my neighbors, and they were like, no, I heard the whole backstory. She is a drug addict, and she broke their window. And he was like, baby, you have to stop using. And she decided to throw a shit fit in the road.
In the middle of the road?
Yeah, and that's where I heard I went out to have my cigarette in the road because I can't smoke in my patio anymore. So I'm out there just watching, basically, you know?
That's a fun thing to watch.
Oh, she was like, you don't, like raising her voice. Like they could just be saying these things to each other.
Yeah.
But raising your voice to a level in which you know other people are going to hear it, that is a psycho move.
Yeah.
And that's not even powerful. That's like a weak thing where it's like, I'm going to bring everyone's attention to this. So like it raises panic in the person you're arguing with because they're just kind of like, hey, what are you What are you doing? You know what I mean? But it's a tactic of weak people. Do you know
It
what I
is.
mean?
It is. Yeah.
It's hilarious to watch, though. You know?
Yeah. I
and
mean,
I'm sure she was on drugs when she was doing it. Which was
yeah.
cool.
And it's the last thing you want to hear when you're on drugs and upset about it. Someone's being like, you got to stop doing
Hey, can
drugs.
you not do the drugs? Yeah. No, totally. That's
Jesus.
the last time you want to hear it.
It's
But
like-
yeah, it's like 11 a.m. and it was
That
so
sucks.
bizarre.
It reminds me of when you're high and you're having a good time.
People bum you out.
And bum you out, or if someone goes, you high right now? And you're like, what are you doing?
I've gotten over it. I mean, I've been a stoner for a very long time. And now when people ask me, they're like, you know, they do that thing where like,
Yeah.
smells like weed. I always smell like weed.
Yeah.
To the point where I go, yeah, it's me. Like, obviously,
Yeah, it's me. I'm high.
I smell like weed. I smoked weed.
Yeah.
You know that. Of course it's me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get upset about it anymore. So when they say that, like, you high, right? Like, because there would be this one dildo. He's not a dildo. He's my friend. But he's like a Buffalo comic who doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I like him a lot. But we party-wise, not on the same page ever. So he'd always be like, oh, you smoking weeds? He'd do that kind of thing where you're like, ugh. But I got over that real quick because it's like, who does that to another adult?
It's the worst.
Especially now when weed's being legal. I just had this conversation. What are you going to talk to your kids about weed? Do you talk to them about it like it's booze now? Or because it's like when we were growing up, it was like part of DARE. It was like heroin and weed were like the same category.
They still are federally.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean,
No, they definitely are.
No, I know what you're saying, but I mean, like, there's inroads and, like, depends what state you live in. And
yeah, but that's
I can go to the
state-wise.
store and buy. I just did. I went to the store and bought. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but the feds still don't consider that legal.
I agree with you, but I'm saying socially, the
Socially, it's
conversation with
different,
your
yes.
children has to change, I feel like. I remember I was with my cousin in Florida, and we were smoking after the kids had gone to bed, and it's so weird. Like, I haven't seen them in 3 years now. And the kids have grown in 3 years very much. So now it's like they know things.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they walked in on them having sex and they were like, what were you doing to mom? Like that kind of conversation had to
Dude,
happen.
I triple check.
Well,
I knock on the door every time because my kids are at the 5-year-old. That's the age where they just run in unprompted all the time.
but they're not conscious enough to understand something's occurring, right?
No, they'd be like, "You're trying to kill mom."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. This kid was like 10 and was like, are you hurting mom? And
yeah.
he was like, well, kind of, but she likes it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was like they were doing some shit. And
Yeah.
and the kid walked in and he was like crying after.
Yeah.
He was like, what was that? They were like,
Oh.
someday you'll figure that out. But like
Someday.
they didn't know what to do. And so like I'm wondering that thing. But then while they were telling me that story, the kid came downstairs. I left my weed on their kitchen counter. And he was like, what's that green stuff? He knows what it is.
Yeah.
But she was like, go to bed or whatever. She didn't even acknowledge it. But I said, why can't we just say it's weed? And you don't hide beer from a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go like, this is beer. You drink this when you're 21 or whatever.
Yeah.
Why
don't know.
hide what weed is?
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because I don't have to have that conversation quite yet, so I haven't put a lot of thought
You haven't
into
thought of it, yeah.
No, not really. I mean, they're always asking us to drink whatever we're drinking, like anything. If I
Yeah.
drink water,
Do you do what my dad did? Is and let them?
no, I'm always like, you don't want this, and they're like, yes, I do. And I'm like, no, you don't. This tastes gross. You just tell them it tastes like med. And if you tell them it's gross enough, sometimes they listen.
See, my dad was like, it's gross. And then I'd be like, I want it. And he'd be like, all right.
All right,
And
here
then
you
I would
go.
be like, ah. And he'd be like, yep, there you go.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll have like the straight lace. Like my kids are always, like my oldest is always like, don't say fuck. Like whenever we say
Really?
it. Yeah.
I thought he was into it first. Didn't he have a spell where he was into it?
Well, the youngest one says, God fucking damn it.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. And he says that because I say it. And,
Jesus.
And so now he'll like drop something and he's like, God fucking damn it. And I'm like, yo, man.
Hey, yo, wait.
Yeah.
Ooh, chill.
Come on, you're two, bro.
Chill, dog.
Chill.
That's wild.
Yeah. It gets pretty out
The
there.
sex story that they told me, though, made me laugh so hard because
Of
they were
the-
like doing some real shit. And
Really?
Like, the kid walked in, they were like, I mean, I was like doing it. And I was like,
Pile driver.
yeah.
Yeah, and the kid's like, oh,
How do
no.
you explain that? It's not like love making. You can't
No.
be like birds and bees convo coming your way
I
when it's
know.
like choking from behind.
And it's also like, it's so crazy because kids view their mothers so
Oh, of
differently than their
course.
fathers, you know? So like that is like, that's life is mom.
Yeah.
Mom is everything. And for
Yeah.
him to be like, what is dad doing to my mother? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not within the capacity of most to try and wade through those waters to try and
No.
explain that. So what do you? I don't know. I've never. Thank God, I never. I guess cared enough or heard my parents have sex. You know what I did at a young age? I actually asked to switch rooms with my parents. So they put me at the other end of the house, and then they had a room next to my sister. And my sister did say she used to hear them fucking.
Oh,
And I was all the way at the other end of the house, so I never heard anything. It was awesome.
that's awesome. Yeah, I've never heard my parents.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
God.
so fucking thankful. I've
Yeah.
heard my dad fuck later in life as an adult.
How was that?
Just as terrible. Although it was more like roll my eyes terrible. It was like
Yeah.
if my roommate was fucking in this capacity, I would have been annoyed. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And he's
yeah.
a stranger.
And are you just hearing like that?
Yeah, and
kind
like you know what I mean? Like my dad kept the door open.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Can you just shut the door?" I shut the door. I remember I'd have girls come over. I'd shut the door. My girlfriend at the time. I shut the door and I'd be like, "Shh." I'd tell her,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Shut up."
Yeah.
My dad's out there. She's like, "He doesn't fucking care. Why should we care?" I'm like, "Cause it's weird. He
it's
should
weird,
care."
but I agree with her that he doesn't care.
No, I know he didn't. I was like,
Yeah.
I get that. I still care for some
Yeah, yeah,
reason.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why. I don't want my dad to listen to me.
No, I don't want. God,
You know?
no. But like the only thing I remember, so it's not too bad or harsh of a memory. I do remember we were in this house in Milwaukee, and it was like 2 PM, and I went up to their room and went to open the door, and it was locked. I'm like, hello, it's not processing it. Like, why is their door locked in the middle of the afternoon? And I put my ear to the door, and I just heard country music, which they both despise.
Oh, weird.
It was just like noise.
Yeah.
So they were like drowning out noise. You know what I mean? Like putting it, and I was like, huh? And then I go, like I put it together. But that was my only exposure to them having sex. Now, I
Why
might
were
have
they
been,
playing country music?
they were just turned on the radio.
Oh, they didn't care. They were
They just didn't care.
indiscriminate.
Yeah.
That's so weird because you would think because they hate it, they would be like, okay, let's at least put anything else on.
I don't know. I mean,
That's how bad they wanted.
they
to
did
fuck.
tell me that I saw them one time, but I was like 5 or 6, and I have zero memory.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, zero
What
memory.
if they told you they hate country music, but really it's what makes them the horniest,
Oh.
and so that's why they never played it because they had an insatiable desire to fuck each other every time they heard country music.
If I didn't actually know how much they despised it,
okay.
it'd be a fun story.
It could still be a ruse.
It could be a ruse.
This whole time.
Yeah.
I remember coming home one time with a buddy, like in middle school, 7th grade or something
Yeah.
like that, 8th grade. Like after a movies, you know, you just troll to people's houses on bikes and shit. And we got to like this dude's house, and it was like his garage. You go through the garage, you know, into the house.
Yeah.
One of those homes. And it was always open. You walk in. We were just going to go in and get something from his room. And he's like, it's locked. That's weird.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, like, we like knocked, and he's like, "Mom," and he could like hear them. And we go in, and they're like both in like robes, and like the dad, they were old too. Like the dad was like fumbling with the television, and it was definitely porn on the TV, and he was like didn't know how to like stop it or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
And this was the kid who like we used to go to his house after school when he knew his parents were home. We knew where his dad kept his Playboys. We knew where
Yeah.
he kept porn videos. It was that house. So we knew like what it was going on. We're like, oh, they were fucking. Like we put it together back then even, you know what I
Yes.
mean? And we're just standing in the garage like, oh my God. There was porn on the TV.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch an old man fumble with a VCR trying to stop pornography from playing.
Dude, I tell you, I mean, it's on like an album of mine, like an early album. When I lived with my cousin in Silver Lake, we shared an apartment, and every few weeks we'd have a cleaning lady come by, and it ended up being a cleaning lady and her daughter. So the daughter was like in her early 20s, mom's like in her late 40s.
This sounds like a porn.
Yeah, it does. But here's the thing. He would set it up. Like it was, you know what I mean? Like everyone has we're roommates, but everyone has their own responsibilities.
Right, he'd
like
pay for the...
he would just like coordinate it. So I'm home one afternoon, and I'm like, I'm going to jerk off. And I go into our living room, and I open the laptop, and I'm like on one of the...
In the living room you jerk off.
Yeah, I was...
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, I knew he was at work, and I was like,
okay.
you know, I was like, I'll just make a mess out here and clean it up. So I'm sitting here like getting started, like, you know, take it out. Then I'm like, yeah, that's a good clip. Looking for another one. And I'm just getting like cranking and kind of going. I hear a noise, and I like, what the fuck? And I turn, and they're both standing behind me. he had given them
A key.
a key to not the front door, to the side door where you come through the kitchen.
How old's the daughter again?
She's like 22.
Oh, that's kind of
And listen, she is furious.
Whoa, at
Like,
you.
Yes. Because from her perspective,
Kind of bored when we watch it.
it's that they said come clean, and that I'm like it looks like I'm deliberately doing this.
Oh my
after
God.
knowing
That's
that
probably a thing.
I'm sure it's a thing. But here's this is the worst part. Well, one of the worst parts. I'm flipping out too. Like I'm so shocked. I slam the MacBook. It was an older MacBook, and the audio just keeps playing.
Wow. That's...
And it was like aggressive
you're like,
audio. Yeah.
You just want to throw it out the
Yeah.
window at that
It was
point?
like a throating compilation or something.
Did you throw it into like the dishwasher?
Oh yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
and you just hear, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And you know, they turn around, they go back in the kitchen. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I'm mortified. I go into my room. I put it away. I never finished. So I got pretty.
Well, yeah, I'd hope.
I'm pretty hard.
Yeah.
And then when I come back, I'm like, I got to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So I go into the kitchen, and the daughter's there, and I go, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go do a thing. And she was like, good.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm really sorry.
Oh, the shame.
And then I call my cousin. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I tell him the story, and he was like, oh yeah, I forgot to
And then he
tell
was
you.
like, great, I got to get another cleaning
Yeah.
service.
I'm like, you son of a bitch, man. Just give me a fucking heads up.
That's wild. I can't believe that you had that happen to you. I remember having like my mom walk in, but she was good at hiding it. She never I don't know what it is. I never put two and two together that she does my laundry and she'd see the jizz
Yeah.
situation when I was a teenager.
Sure.
Just didn't care. She never
Yeah.
brought it up like a saint.
My mother never brought, and I would jizz into my boxers.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's
And
the
they
cleanest
just-
place to do it. I throw it in the hamper and it disappears
But
and it
they'd
comes
be like
back clean again.
cardboard, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I would collect them. I'd throw it under my bed. So I'd have like 6 of them. And then I'd put them.
You know what moms do that, because I still don't do this is, maybe because I'm a fucking man child or whatever, but I don't separate my laundry. Like colors and shit like that.
No.
Never. I throw it, I do cold water every time.
I don't care.
So I don't care either.
And if something gets ruined, I'll either wear it like again. I don't even like it.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be like, I'm just done wearing this, I guess. I'll
But
throw it.
moms diligently set like whites,
Yes,
this, that.
whites,
So they
yes.
are touching all of them separately.
Yeah.
I just assume they grab them in clumps and throw them in the...
Nah.
Nope.
Did you ever do laundry growing up?
Yeah, I mean, but that's how I would do it. You know what I was great at with chores, getting out of them, was doing them poorly.
Oh, yeah.
And if you just do them poorly enough, they just go, fuck it, I'm not even going to... Like, I would act like I'd be like, sure, yeah, let's go. And then I would suck at them. And then they would be like, all right, we're not going to have it. Like mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
A lot of zigzags.
Yeah.
Get a little couple patches.
I don't
in
know
there.
if I want you mowing the lawn.
Well, I mean, back then, my eyes,
They were better.
bad, but they weren't as... People like to be like, don't use that as a crutch.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, fuck you, it's going to be a crutch.
Yeah.
Well, now people are like, I don't trust you with anything. I'm like, no. Like, you know what? It's like the coin has flipped.
I like that this is like, I can't believe that this is probably, something that would upset people today. But because I was raised in like a traditional household, like I was never expected to do the things that I absolutely despise doing, which
Yeah.
is like the dishes and
Never
shit.
did those either. Never did any of that.
But I was expected to take trash out, mow the lawn, do like the outdoor shit. And, there's a flat, I changed the tire, that kind of stuff.
Whoa.
I had to do that. But that didn't bother me. But it would absolutely infuriate me to scrub one plate clean.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the garbage. I think my mom made the garbage my thing. And I think this was like when I knew I wasn't going to have a real job ever. Because I was like, every Monday? I remember saying that. I go, every Monday, the same time?
Every week?
So it's every Monday. I have to be here every Monday for the garbage? That's
Yeah.
weird.
What fucking sucks.
Yeah, I was like, and my mom's like, yeah, that's all I have to do is take it to the street.
Dude, even today, like, there's almost no worse feeling than when trash comes into our neighborhood Tuesday morning. So you got to put it out Monday night. pretty regularly remember, but when you forget and then you have 2 weeks of trash, it's such a fucking nightmare.
I bet.
It is a night. And then
what do you do with it? Because you have to get another
it just
can?
starts piling up. It just like it becomes.
I don't even know how that works. Then the
scene.
town charges
Then
you?
each of those cans weighs like 150. Like they get so heavy. And then you can also.
How much do those cost?
I have no fucking idea.
But they cost something, right? You have to buy them from like the county.
We have 2 trash, 2 recycling, and 1.
It's like $300.
One whatever it's called, like for like grass,
refuse,
like the natural
or whatever it's called.
There's a green one,
what's it
black
called?
and blue.
Repost.
I don't know how much they are.
I don't remember what the name of it is. Post.
But that's buying one on your. Yeah, that's for your own. But
that's like your own.
Yeah.
You got. I'm
But
talking about
LA,
the one where they're like they say the city on them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You think like,
say,
oh, they would just give me this, but no, they're like, this costs you money like a tax.
Then they.
Fuck. I mean, man, having a house must suck. In general,
but hey, no, it's like every problem is your problem, dude. I mean, you know what happened in our kitchen? There's like the kitchen sink. The way that the valve or whatever, like the you open the water is like this thing where you pull it, and then to have water stop running, you just push it closed. It's just open on its own. So I'm like,
you mean it just starts?
It just starts running.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like I can't fucking fix that. So I
would
called
just
the
get
guy.
like a rubber band.
My favorite is a plumber or somebody of like that type of job goes, here's what you're going to do. And I'm like, oh, no. This is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this shit, man.
Totally.
Because he's trying to describe it on the phone. I'm like, are you nearby?
Yeah. Like, do you not want to work?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
I'll pay you to come here.
Yeah. What is this phone consultation?
Like, and also like you're walking me through plumbing.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking
do it.
Yeah, you do it, man. That's what you signed up for. That's why I have your phone number.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the whole job. That's why you got Yelp reviews.
I never understood doing your own car shit either. I mean,
I'll do
like
the
people
minimum.
Love it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the minimum? The oil?
Fuck no. I'm not changing.
That's like the minimum to
No,
people.
the minimum is like changing a tire. That's the minimum to me. That's easy.
It depends on what kind of tire you're talking about.
Well, I'm saying on a standard
and
car.
where, by the way, have you ever? I've had to change a lot of them. I learned how to change a tire in the fire, basically.
In the fire?
No, like basically like in the throes of like having being fucked.
Oh, I got you.
And having to do it. I've done one where I was on like where an off ramp and a highway were like
that's
really
not a
narrow,
cool place to change.
And I was like in the middle, and I'm like, like the car's like right behind me. And I'm fucking
fuck that,
jacking it up with the fucking shit jack. I never had one of those like NASCAR ones where you could be like,
yeah, that'd
be the shit. But you have to be like, I got it.
No, that would be the shit. No, I that's the one time where I called is when it was on a highway and there was like, it was in Atlanta and it just traffic. I was like, fuck, my legs out on the fucking highway. No way, dude.
I actually changed it and then I got pulled over because the cop said, you're not supposed to change. Like that's
illegal. Why you got in trouble.
That's illegal for you changing a tire here because it's so dangerous.
Yeah, it feels dangerous. No, yeah. I know. I've I like cars and then immediately if you tell like a real car guy that shit and they start talking about like engine displacement and then like, oh, I did this. And then I'm like, yo, man, I just like driving them. Why don't you chill the fuck out?
That must be so annoying as a car person.
I mean, just to be like, what happens is they go, well, you're an enthusiast and I am a car. I'm like, okay, great. Good for you. And all my cars are better than yours. So fuck off.
So that's what you can do that too. Yeah. Be like, cool, now get in your Honda.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
But what does that make us all football enthusiasts?
I guess so, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we don't play football.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about, man? It's nickel coverage. Like, all right, I'm sorry.
Cool. Sorry
great,
I didn't recognize it immediately.
We are supported by ShipStation. So you started your own online store. You're doing what you love, selling products people want, and orders are coming in fast. Now the hard part, shipping those products out. Luckily, ShipStation makes it easy. With ShipStation, it's simple to import, manage, and ship your orders out fast for a lot less money. It's no wonder ShipStation is the #1 shipping software for e-commerce sellers with more 5-star reviews than anyone else. Import orders from any sales channel, ship with any carrier using our deeply discounted rates, automate just about any shipping task. No matter where you're selling, Amazon, Etsy, your own website, ShipStation funnels all your orders into one simple interface that you can manage from anywhere, even your cell phone. You'll even get access to amazing discounts with major carriers, including UPS, FedEx, and USPS. Ship more in less time. Just use our offer code CAVE to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. Just go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in CAVE. That's ShipStation.com. Enter the code word CAVE. Make ship happen. This episode is brought to you by our partner, Whoop. We all want to make healthier decisions. We want to try to sleep better, eat better, and live healthier lives, especially with summer coming right up. Beach season's around the corner. We don't always know how our body is feeling, how long to work out for, or how much sleep we need. Whoop is the fitness tracker that helps you solve those questions with built-in coaching features. Listen, this thing gives you insight that you otherwise would not know. You put it on, you know how much strain you put out, you know how your body is recovering, you know how much rest you need, you know how much rest you got. You put in every aspect of what you do. You can put, I had a glass of wine, I had 6 glasses of wine. Bert, I had 5 bottles of wine. You tell it what you had and you see how that affects your recovery and strain. And then you have a full report. You have so much insight into your body. For our listeners today, if you're thinking about giving Whoop a shot, there's no better time than today. You can save 15% off of Whoop with the code BEARS. Go to Whoop, WHOOP.com. Use code BEARS at checkout to save yourself 15% off today. Know yourself with personalized recovery, strain, and sleep insights from Whoop. No, it's hilarious when I know a couple guys who are like, of course I change my own oil. I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to learn.
Yeah.
How to change the oil in the
I
car.
want to know none of that.
Yeah.
I
dude.
want to learn how to afford to have someone else do all that stuff.
Yeah. Like the only cool, like to me, the fun thing that to learn in a car is when I'm with a pro racer. And
That's cool.
And he's giving me like advice on how to drive this track better.
Oh, that would be
That's
so
cool.
And you know what? I'll even up the ante in terms of repairs and things like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to I've been to a NASCAR garage where they're fixing shit, and I'm like, what are they doing? Like,
Yeah.
when they do that to my fucking Sonata, I don't give a you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
cool when it's like, this was in a wind tunnel and it's like a jet. It's like they're fixing a jet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's cool.
That shit's cool to watch. The only
I don't want to learn it though. I'm not an
No.
MIT grad over here.
The only thing that I did, which I was certain I would not be able to do, just because that's how my brain works, where it's like, here's a mechanical task, and I'm like, there's no way I'm doing this. And I was able to do it because it is even easier than I imagined, was Rentec, this company that does like tunes for like AMG Mercedes cars. They sent me these like little like insertable mods, these little packs, and they're like, this one will upgrade your software and open up more horsepower.
Ooh, wow.
And this one's for suspension. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. And they're like, no, this level of it you can do on your own. And I was like, no, I can't. And they go, no, just like let us. So they sent it to me, and I'm like, man, like just one of those things, like I know I'm gonna fuck this up. And literally, you go under your dash, and this thing, you see where it plugs in. It's like plugging in an outlet. And then I'm like, now what? And they're like, now it's done.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, that was really easy.
That's crazy.
And that opened up like 70 horsepower, and like we're able to change the suspension in the car.
Oh, that's like you just plug something in.
And you literally just plug it in.
That's amazing.
And it took 90 seconds.
That's crazy. I changed a tube one time. I don't even remember what the tube was, but I did it from YouTube because I kept annoying my brother-in-law. He used to fix my cars, and my cars would always be breaking.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to annoy him, and I'm like, it's just a tube. How car could it be? I fucked up my car pretty good.
You did?
Yeah. I don't remember what the tube did or what I fucked up, but they were like, who did this tube? And I was like, oh, I took it into a guy. And they're like, you did? You better get this is really fucked up. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It was the tube that like makes the coolant go.
The only thing better, the only thing is cool when you like,
my engine overheated basically is what ended up.
when you fuck something up and the expert's like, oh, God, and then they check it out and they're like, oh no, like this is hard. Like I had at my house, the electrical panel, right? So there was some electrical thing at the house. So I'm talking to the electrician and I go, this is happening. And he goes, go open the panel and hit this. So I go, I'm like, oh, the panel won't open. I'm like, it's literally stuck. And he's like, hit the fucking.
He's getting mad at you for.
Well, he's just like, it's locked, man. Just unlock it. And I'm like, no, it's unlocked. I'm looking at it. He's like, okay, so just open the door. I'm like, it's literally not open. And he's like, okay. And I go, all right, I'll call you back. Now I'm like trying to pry this thing open. I'm like, this is insane. And I call him back. I'm like, no, it's like stuck closed. And he's like, okay, here's what I'll do, man. I got this thing and then I'll stop by. But like, yeah, like you can't open a door, like is what he's saying. I'm like, all right, man. And he comes by. I'm not home. And he calls me. He's like, yeah, that door's all fucked up, man. It won't open. I'm like, yeah, that's what I told you.
And yeah.
And he's like, I had to take the whole thing apart. And I was like, right. So I'm not as dumb as you think, right?
Saying. Yeah.
I'm not that
It's
fucking
not cool
stupid.
when doctors have that moment.
Did you? No. You said that baseball saved your life?
I'm obsessed with baseball right now. I love baseball.
Really?
Yeah, it just started too, like brand new. Like maybe right before pandemic I started.
I said something recently on a podcast and people were like, no, you're wrong. Because I was saying how baseball's popularity has waned.
It has.
Yeah. And then someone was like, oh, no, it's never been more popular. It's never been growing more. I'm like,
there
what?
is like hope. There are sparks. There are a lot of young stars, superstars right now that are coming in and becoming very popular. And they're like very electric personalities. So I could see how it would grow. I don't understand the reason I never got into it as a kid was because I thought it was boring. But like, I think because I've grown to appreciate boring things, or at least the like intricacies of different things within it. As I got older, I started appreciating those things more. Do you know what I mean? Like
yes,
the pitcher battles,
you appreciate the details of the game more now.
Yes. And then, also now you're getting cooler players in there like Fernando Tatis Jr., Mookie Betts. These guys are like, Trevor Bauer. I love all these like newer stars coming up, Tim Anderson.
Isn't it a thing though? You feel like I feel like as somebody who I've never been a devout or, a fan of baseball, but it's obviously one of the major sports. So you pick up on things, right? You pick up on, when there's the home run race or like who's like a
pop culture
kind of moments of baseball where I'm like, and I feel like growing up, even though I was not following the sport, I could name some stars of
Same
baseball,
here.
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like today, you're following the sport, but I feel like as someone who doesn't, that has completely evaporated.
I feel like it's coming back though.
You do? Okay.
I feel like within 5 years, you'll definitely know Fernando Tatis Jr. You'll definitely know Mookie Betts. You already know Mike Trout.
I know Mike Trout.
Maybe the greatest. It's so crazy how, and this is probably due to the fact that it's not that popular. Maybe the greatest player ever, Mike Trout, by the way.
Is that really true?
Yeah. And it's like by the time he's done, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Definitely the greatest player in current times. And he's just on a dog shit team and he has really no personality. So it just no one cares.
No one cares. And also, I know his name. Couldn't ID him in a lineup for sure.
I think he is a genius for that, though. Like, while that's like not great for the popularity of the sport, Mike Trout goes to Starbucks here in LA. No one fucking cares.
No one cares.
He has generational wealth.
Yeah.
What was that contract? $194 million over 10 years? I don't know if you can Google that. $394 million?
Yeah, it's more. Mike Trout contract?
Yeah, the like last contract he signed last season is absolutely bananas. And he could just go to Disneyland normally. Do you know what I mean?
426 million.
Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah. I was like 100 and so. Yeah, no, that's fucking bullshit compared to what he got. Yeah, 426.5 million. And Fernando Tatis signed a deal like that. Mookie Betts, all of them are signing these giant contracts now.
Have you seen? So did A-Rod buy into the Timberwolves or something?
That's what I thought he was trying to buy them. He was trying to buy the Mets. I thought. What was the clip? Because he's getting all fucked up with J-Lo.
You got to find this. I saw this on Twitter. They're talking, I believe, to a current player. You saw it?
He doesn't know who A-Rod is.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
I thought there was a clip of A-Rod being like, I bought the what?
They're interviewing a Timberwolf player. No, he didn't buy a baseball team, buddy. He bought the...
He tried to buy the Mets. He ended up buying the Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves.
The Cohen guy bought the Mets.
And they ask a player, hey, what do you think of A-Rod? He's like, who?
Yeah, that was... yes, I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's so... fucking fantastic. I saw it on Twitter.
Basketball players are in their own galaxy.
Yeah.
And I love that about them.
And they're like, he's like, he goes, I don't know who that is. A-Rod.
So
I mean, like, that's one where I'd be like, what?
But like, did they, that's such a common name where he'd be like, do you think maybe he just played a game and they were like, Alex Rodriguez? Maybe they didn't call him A-Rod. Maybe they said Alex Rodriguez.
Well, he said A-Rod and the guy's like, who?
Oh,
he's
okay.
Like, Alex Rodriguez.
Huh?
Like, he's like,
who? Huh?
Like, is that, it's like some effect on the team? And he's like, I don't know who that is, man. And he's like, okay, like moving on.
They just
this is
didn't
it right here.
acknowledge it?
Hold on, let me get my
Oh, it was a
headphones
press
on.
conference question.
It was just
too.
like
I saw the headline.
Presser with, who's the player? Is that Anthony?
Anthony Townsend? No, that's
Edwards?
not that. Anthony Edwards. Yes. Goose from Top Gun.
Yeah, he's like, Dude, this is fantastic. Make it big. Yeah, he's like getting his...
Hold on, give me a second. This whole player's...
And I'm just going to guess that the reporter who asked the question is a coward and was just like, okay, and kept going. It wasn't like, you don't know who A-Rod is?
Yeah,
There's no follow-up
Yes,
to it?
yes. He absolutely moved on. And the Anthony was just like, he was just like playing with his hair and stuff. He's like, who? Huh? I mean, that's
what I mean. Like, how much of it is them not knowing, not even listening to what they're saying?
But also,
did you see the one guy? I forget what he tweeted. God, I can't even remember who these two people. I talked about it on my show, but it was Ben Simmons from the 76ers.
Uh-huh.
He had the color commentator from the Wizards tweeted out like most overrated point guard ever or something like that. And he was like asked about it and he goes, I'm not going to pay attention to what some 5'5" dork says or whatever. And so like we Googled who this guy was. This guy, you were like, yeah, don't talk shit about Ben Simmons, man. Like, I'm not going to tweet that. And if I do, I'd be like, of course I'm not like I would have a million disclaimers.
Of course.
Following it. But this kind of shit, like they don't give a fuck about any of these reporters is my point.
Let's see.
To chat with you since the news this weekend that Alex Rodriguez was getting ready to buy in as an owner here. Do you have any thoughts about him? Are you an A-Rod fan at all growing up or anything like that? What do you think about what he might bring to the team?
A fan? What you mean, like, who is he?
The baseball player? Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah, no, I don't know who that is.
Okay.
So I know he's going to be the owner, but I don't know nothing about baseball.
Did he say, I know he's finna be the owner?
Yeah.
I love that shit. Yeah, that guy's funny as fuck.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh,
he goes,
God.
a fan.
A fan? What
fan of
you
what?
mean a fan? Of money? I like money.
Of a business guy?
Yeah.
Like, what
you thought
the
he was
fuck?
some business guy?
That is hilarious, man.
Yeah, but some people don't know about baseball. I mean,
But I'm saying
that kid's like 20 something years old.
But
So
still,
A-Rod
like-
played like.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, as far as you're talking about from the sport, impact, name, culture, like A-Rod's up there, man.
But here's the thing you have to remember with people of even 10 years younger than me now, they grew up in a time where they don't have passive consuming of pop culture, where like we had 17 channels or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like there wasn't the internet. So yeah, we watched SportsCenter, so you'd see names. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, the whole thing, like was on SportsCenter. Kids now just watch whatever the fuck they want to watch. So they're in their bubble. So like if that guy was into basketball the whole time, there's no reason he'd get exposed to baseball.
That's fair.
In any place.
And I have no real understanding. Like all I remember about A-Rod is of course the name, like the stature at the time. He had like the most massive like people were like, this
that
is
was the thing I
craziest
remember too,
contract.
when he went from the Mariners to
and
the
then
Yankees.
from my baseball fan friends saying that like he effortlessly.
Yeah. You
I
got
can't say it.
Effortlessly.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is good at baseball. Like without trying, the guy is dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the cheating thing, of course.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
My bad.
But it's amazing how that's just all been washed away for him, whereas like poor Pete Rose, put him in the Hall of Fame for Christ's sake. But you don't care about any of that. He was caught for gambling though. Everyone, you don't like gambling either.
Well, it's not that I don't like it. It's just there are things in life, the vices that you get a rush from. And if you don't get a rush from it, you're just like, why am I even going to pretend to care? Like I don't get that juice.
I agree with you. I mean, we've been to Vegas or Atlantic City or whatever. Get the tables, like the casinos.
Yeah.
Nothing. I love sports gambling though.
Yeah.
But to such a minor extent. Whereas I look at it, I don't even know if I'm not going to say I look at it like people look at the stock market, but I put so much money in the beginning and I've never gone below that. And sure, it's like for baby shit money.
Yeah.
But it's like fun and it keeps me interested in shit that I normally wouldn't. That's even why I got into baseball, because I was sick of hockey because the Buffalo Sabres suck so fucking bad. And it's just hate the NHL. Talk about the worst run league in the history of sports.
It's the NHL?
Hands down.
Why is it the worst run league?
It's just, you talk about like you were saying, the waning fan base of Major League Baseball. NHL might as well not even be an American sport. It's so unpopular. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even compared to baseball. And
it seems like they don't care.
They don't do anything to change that. That's for sure.
Because it's just like Canadians, Eastern Europeans, Russians.
Yeah. And people from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Yeah. Or like, border towns.
Detroit loves it.
Yeah. So it's Pittsburgh, I guess it's not a border town, but they love it.
Yeah.
But it's It's the shittiest run league easily. I wish I was more into the NBA. I'm not, but so I've.
Hockey's one of the things too, where like I'm not a big hockey fan, but I will say that I would break down the major sports into like what you love to watch on TV and what the experience is like live.
Yes.
Personally, never been like a big hockey fan. I've been in my life to, let's say, 6 NHL games. Always a blast.
Always a blast.
Always
That's why it
fun to
should be
attend
more.
the game.
It's fast paced.
Yes.
There's hitting. There's fighting.
It's a fun event to attend. Conversely, NFL. I grew up big NFL fan. Don't enjoy going to the games.
Yeah.
I don't find the experience as fun as watching it on TV.
I don't enjoy going to the football games to watch football. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I go to the game for entirely different
party.
reasons. It's a party. Yes, exactly. Baseball, and this is a unique thing for me. Most sporting events for me are fruitless in terms of watching the event.
Yeah.
What with the small balls used or pucks or what have you.
Oh, right.
So
Totally forgot about that.
yeah. So most of it I go for the party. Baseball I do enjoy though, because
That's another one. I'm not a baseball fan, but I've gone to a few major league games. It's really fun.
Yeah, exactly.
The games are fun to attend.
you get the hot dog, you get the this, that, the other thing.
NBA
You get to talk shit to the guy in the outfield.
is really fun to attend.
I've only been to one NBA game, and I got to sit in the box at the Staples Center, and it was the shit. It was legit, and I didn't get to see LeBron, but I saw Rondo when he played for the Lakers still, and I was just like, this is
The NBA. They have it, dude.
It's a different party though. It's not the kind of party that was maybe for me though. I don't think.
Right. Well, the NFL is savagery party. Like
yeah.
I've been in the stands and been like, man, this is mayhem. But the NBA is like a little more sophisticated party.
Exactly.
You know?
My NBA experience was felt like going to a nightclub that I was underdressed at.
Yeah, that's right. And people, that's one of the things you notice. It's like, you're like, people are dressed the fuck
got
up
a
here.
Suit on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
They
like in
are
a
really
hoodie and
dressed
shit.
up, man.
It was wild. And it's like, and again, I felt like a fraud at that. So I don't know if I could ever fit into that world necessarily. But man, I love going to a fucking tailgate for a football game. And I don't think baseball tailgates as much, but I think they should. They should get more into it. Tailgates are the best.
Tailgate's a good time. College football, I've had fun attending more than NFL games.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you ever get some action at a football game?
What do you mean? Like betting action?
No, like hook up with a chick.
I went to the Egg Bowl in 2003, but I fucked her in a different city.
But you didn't fuck in the stadium.
No.
That's my dream.
Really?
I want to get blown at a baseball game or something. You know, the baseball games are at Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only I don't know, nobody's there. It's kind of like it is now with COVID.
Yeah.
I want to get up in the bleachers and just be like.
It happens.
And I can just watch the game, you know?
Yeah. You'll definitely be on SportsCenter. Yeah.
Dude, they have so much B-roll of dudes getting blown in baseball stadiums.
Really?
But they never air them. It's always because one camera guy will catch it and he'll put it on and it'll be on how they got back there, different screens.
Sure.
So though they're all laughing at it in the booth and they're like, all right, Jerry's pitching. So why don't you put the camera back on the mound, buddy? But they'll find one. There's ones on YouTube you can find, I'm sure.
But that's what you want though. That's your bucket list.
I'd love that. That as a public blow, getting blown while looking at something beautiful.
Like a baseball
is an experience. Game. Maybe for me, because looking at something beautiful is already a treat, but getting blown and doing it.
Yeah.
I got one on the hills, looking at the LA skyline. I felt like the god of LA.
That's cool. Yeah. Like up on the hill, seeing the sunset, that kind of thing.
It was at night, but yes.
Yeah.
It was dark, thankfully, but a sunset would have been cool. What's that? Some B-roll.
That's
if you Google, there's Buffalo Bills.
There's somebody down there. I can't even see that.
Google Buffalo Bills finger. There's some fame. Everyone's fucking in the Bill Stadium. That's what I love about it. 2 teachers got caught. You want to do finger blasting, probably. Google image. There it is, right there. I think on the left, on the top. Ba-doom. Is that it?
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, he's digging deep.
Yeah.
There was 2 teachers who got caught fucking in a bathroom. They were cheating on their spouses who were both at the game.
Really?
Yeah. There was a woman who notoriously blew a guy in the parking lot for a Kiko Alonso's jersey. That's on.
Wow.
And Kiko Alonso played for us for a year. We traded him for LaShawn McCoy.
Was it him? Was he the one getting blown?
No, that's the thing.
That would be amazing.
It was just some schlub in a Probably not even authentic Kiko allowance. It was like one you could buy at like Trench or some shit.
I would have loved to hear that exchange. Give me that jersey.
I mean, I think there's a video of that. Yeah, I wish I heard the lead up to it, but there's definitely a video of it where they're just like blowing the guy between two cars.
Nice.
Everyone was capturing that. Yeah, so the Bills tailgates, I mean, people get down, but I want like more of the majesty of a baseball game in the stands kind of thing, you know? Not these savages are just fingering butts like.
Yeah, I prefer the mountaintop blowjob, I think. That
one was cool too. You know what I want? What else my fantasy experience would be a blowjob while I'm looking at a tornado.
Really? A little bit of fear.
Well, it's in the distance, you know, like on the plains.
I thought you meant it's coming towards you. You're like, let's get it out.
Not like Twister shit where she's like, maybe we should leave. And I'm like, first you're sucking.
We're going to die. We're going to die. Just suck it.
We can't go to the crawl space till you make me come. No, I want to see it like in the distance, you know?
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It's another beautiful thing to see.
Yeah. You know, I mean, even though it's probably killing a village or whatever out there somewhere, but it's like, hey, it's not.
But hey, you came.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's all that important.
Yeah, you know.
When you spend a lot of time in the great outdoors, you find out pretty quickly that Mother Nature doesn't always play nice. SA Company has all the protective gear you need to brave the elements and explore more every day. Like their multi-use face shields, they are UPF 30, lightweight and breathable, the perfect piece of protective gear for your next adventure. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in the great outdoors very soon. I'm gonna be on the water. I have my friend gave me a water toy, and I'm gonna wear my SA face shield, keep the water from spraying on my face, and protection from the sun. My big dumb friend who normally sits here, he loves his, so it's got to be good for me too. SA face shields are perfect for your next great outdoor adventure, whether you're working in the sun or cold or going hunting, hiking, fishing, skiing, riding, biking, jet skiing. It's all there. Stay protected outdoors because right now you can get an insane deal. Buy one, get 4 free, $150 value for just $24.99. Just go to safishing.com/cave to get 5 face shields for the price of 1, plus a lifetime warranty and free returns if you're not satisfied. That's safishing.com/cave. What's your YouTube page?
Oh, my YouTube page, it doesn't have a URL as of this date because you have to wait 30 days to make a URL.
Oh,
so I mean,
really?
At the time of this airing, it will have its own URL.
Okay.
But unfortunately, at the moment, it doesn't. I'm imagining it will be the Josh Potter Show will be the URL, provided it's available. I hope it is.
Yeah, and if you check the description on this video.
Yes,
like
all of my previous episodes from the past month and a half on the Your Mom's House channel as well. It still comes out every Tuesday. It's just on a different channel now.
It's just on a different channel. And like I said, if you check the description on this episode, we will have it linked to your page.
And it's wherever, the places I mentioned to buy tickets and all that. It's everywhere. And it takes one little click. And it's so insignificant to your life, but it means a great deal to mine. So please do it. Thank you.
Yeah, please rate, review, and subscribe.
On the iTunes and all that. Yes, That's lovely. Thank you for doing that.
And subscribe on YouTube.
Do it again. Subscribe on the YouTube.
And you'll continue to put it out on Tuesdays.
Yes, I'm not going to change that at all.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep moseying on. There will be other changes, obviously, but we will continue to stay as consistent as possible in regards to that, at least when
for
it's
the time
out.
being, you're definitely staying in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I go back and forth, dude. Like a part of me is like, do I want to leave? And then a part of me is like, this place blows.
Yeah.
Without comedy, this place is worthless to me. I came here to do comedy strictly, purely. And when it's not here, it's like, why do I live here? So I don't know as it comes back if my mind will change or if I move. I'm still thinking, I don't know where I would like, but I mean, I got to get out of my fucking apartment. So even if that's in Los Angeles, my life will be monumentally better.
Just a different scenery or different.
Just without other fucking people I don't know.
Have you thought about adding, by the way, just because I so many people do it, like a Patreon to what you do?
Yes, I actually have. I have a couple ideas for that. And I'm just trying to get this transition sturdy, and then we'll go from there as far as that. But yes, that has been
like a bonus episode or something like that.
Yes, I have like 2 show ideas two separate show ideas for Patreon. So I'm looking to do that. But I don't want to say what they are because then I have to follow through with it.
Yeah.
But they are up there in the old noggin, and once this is underway and I can stop thinking about the transition so much, I can focus on doing those things as well.
Now, are you actually thinking about, because I know there's a lot of cool cities in this country. Are you thinking about Denver?
No, I was joking, but
that's on that
I am. I mean, like, I will consider it. I have no attachments to anyone. I was even like, do I just go back to fucking Buffalo at some point? But then I don't want to do that either. But like, I feel like I could just, at this point, like, if the ball keeps rolling, I could live wherever I want. As long as there's like a place to get on stage, I'll be fine with that, you know?
Yeah. And you're touring and you're selling tickets.
Yeah, but I mean, I like to have, even if it's a shithole open mic, I need a place where I can, like, if I write something, I can go up there in a few hours and say it.
Yeah.
I don't care what
And
it is.
pre-pandemic, you had the places here.
Yeah, I mean, I could get up 7 times a night here if I wanted to, even if it was in front of 7 other comics. At least I got to say something out loud that I wrote that day and been like, okay, I'm on to something or whatever. You know, it was the first part of the process of anything.
Yeah.
And it was just something that, like, made me feel better. I mean, like, people do, you know, maybe not necessarily like, I compare it to working out, even though I know nothing about working out, but like, you know, you do your diligence, you know, you're doing your like low weight, just you're getting your reps in just to keep shit going, I guess, or whatever. Right. So, I mean, that's the way I thought about those things. And without them, it was like, what am I living here for?
Yeah. I mean, I've had similar thoughts, man.
Yeah.
I go like, I don't know. It's so strange.
I was like, the weather. I'm like, who gives? I lived in Buffalo. I didn't give a fuck about the weather.
You love the
there.
cold.
I love I hate the weather here. Yeah, that's that was one of the things that I was like nervous about.
You were upset about it. You're like, I don't know if I can deal with this shit, man. Like, you're like the only guy I know who comes to Southern California. You're like, what's up with this weather though, dude?
I moved here in like mid-September, and I remember I texted you in October. I'm like, does it ever get to like 50s?
Yeah.
Like, this is just crazy hot.
Like, there are a couple scary nights where it does in February.
I couldn't sleep for the first like 3 weeks I lived here, and I had an air conditioner. It was wild.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it was the worst.
No, I've been with you in cold places where you have, like, I mean, it's people are in coats with scarves and hats and gloves, and Josh is in a hoodie and he's like, I'm fine.
I remember us walking out of an airport, like in Jersey or something like that, and you had like a winter coat on. I had a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you're like, aren't you freezing? I'm like, it's sunny out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, this feels good to me.
It did feel good, especially airports. Like when I remember I've been with you, I think, a couple times where I'm sitting, I'm like, is it hot in here? It's fucking hot.
Yeah, yeah, you asked that.
And
I
get like, God, it's hot in here. And I'm getting to the point where my blood's boiling.
Yeah, yeah. We were in an airport once where you're like, I'm sweating, man. I'm sweat dripping down my back. And I'm like, you're the only guy in this whole tournament who's sweating. Like, it's not
I
hot
had
at
to go
all.
change. I was like, I'm going to put a t-shirt on. I can't fucking
God.
handle it.
I mean, it really, because I think it's the amount of time you lived in cold. I lived in pretty cold places for the first 13 years of my life. And man, I guess moving at that age to Florida, I was like you arriving. I remember we moved, it was November, and we moved from Milwaukee to Florida, right? To Vero Beach. And in November in Milwaukee, it's fucking cold, man. I don't remember the temperature, but it's cold. So when I got to Florida, it was like 58, and all the kids were in hoodies and jackets because they're Floridians, you know?
Yeah.
And so I walked into school in a t-shirt, and they're like, this guy's a psycho. Like, and they were like, are you cold? And I was like, cold, bro. Where I left today, it was 3.
Yeah.
Like today it's 58. I'm
We used
hot.
to go to Disney World on vacation, like Christmas time.
Yeah.
And we'd be in like bathing suits, and like I wouldn't wear a shirt around, and people would be like, you're from the north, huh? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you'd be like, yeah.
But the funny thing was, I thought that would be how I was, and like a year or so later, I had basically converted.
I'm never going to convert.
No, it's obvious at this point.
I mean, you've been in some hotel rooms. I'll be like, "What's up? Welcome," and you're like, "I can see my breath in here."
Oh man, you're the only guy I know who like. Yeah, you
the
couldn't
second
get
I walk
down to
in there.
like 58.
Yeah,
in a
if
hotel
it doesn't
room.
go to the 50s, I want a different hotel room. Like I have checked
you
out of
did
hotels
have-
that
you-
don't go lower than 60 something.
You did have one where you told me you're like, I actually I had to turn it up because it
dude,
froze the room.
I left it on.
You left it on,
like
yeah.
max and as low as it can go, and we went and did like a show, and then had dinner, maybe 2 shows.
Yeah.
Had dinner. I came back, there was like frost on the windows. I was like, oh Jesus, I had to turn it up a little bit. Turn it up.
But there's nothing like sleeping in a cold room.
Oh, it's the best.
The fucking
dude.
best, man.
It's the best. I could sleep in the Arctic.
Yeah.
You know.
If you have a cold ass room and a blanket, like so you have the blanket but the air is cold.
Yeah.
I can hibernate, man. 10 hours.
Wrap me up, baby.
Wrap me the fuck
I
up.
fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where I'm going to move, but somewhere, God willing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm should I go to the Austin? I don't know. Everyone's going there. I mean, you've seen it. I haven't been yet.
I think it's going to pop off, dude.
Yeah? I mean, of course it's going to pop off. So maybe I should just
And it's
go
popping
there.
off like...
Dude, I won't lie to you. I've been looking at rents down there.
Yeah?
And it's making me salivate.
Really?
Like, it's crazy how I could pay the same amount I pay here and live like an adult as opposed to living like a fucking college guy where I'm living with other people. You know what I mean?
I know 2 guys that just showed me their places they got there where I was like, you what?
And you know how much money they make? You're
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah. I'm like, well, how is this possible? Yeah. And yeah, it's impressive. But it's not just, it is not just comedy, because I think comedy is going to explode there. I think that city is going to be just...
Well, yeah.
No, but I mean like in the best way.
I feel like it's been... Like
it's
every
been
time I've gone there, it's cranes and
Yeah.
buildings are propping up. So it's
Yeah.
like always flying. So maybe, you know, it's not off the table at all. I don't know is the answer.
Yeah.
To a lot of questions.
Have you watched This Is a Robbery?
No, what's that?
It's a new docu series, like mini series on Netflix that follows or tells the story of the greatest art heist of all time.
No.
Yeah. So this happened in 1990 in Boston. I think it was the Isabella Stewart Gardner heist at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, and it was on St. Patty's Day. How fucking that? I mean, that feels like a movie, right? Like St. Patty's Day, everyone's over here.
What year did you
Cops
say
are in
this happened?
1990, and I don't remember it from childhood
Me
at all.
neither.
But by the time this comes out, I will have finished it. But I'm a few episodes in, and like, man, I don't know what it is about robberies like that, where like I so want to be involved, you know?
Yeah.
Like to see if I could do one, especially like a high stakes thing. Like the one of the cops says, he's like, this isn't like going into someone's house and taking a TV. He's like, these are fucking Rembrandts in a fucking museum, man. Like, this is like some high level shit.
It's that shit where you like blow the dust and it shows the laser beams and all that, and you have to like fucking get through it like Catherine Zeta-Jones and all that.
I mean, the funny thing is when you start watching the series, and this is pointed out to you, you realize that, you know, 2021, you couldn't pull off this.
Sure.
robbery.
That always makes me sad when I see those.
I know.
things.
Same thing with serial killers. You're like,
Yeah.
there's no good ones anymore.
Yeah, because they fucked it all up for us.
No, all this
DNA
fucking
and cameras.
DNA and cameras everywhere. Yeah, but like,
Phones.
everyone wants to. I think everyone gets a little bit. It's titillating to hear about a bank robbery.
Yeah.
A museum robbery feels like, I mean, it doesn't. It feels like a fucking movie. It doesn't
Especially
feel like
for
it could
art,
be real.
because you're like, who gives a fuck about art? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're like,
sure.
It seems like they're robbing something dumb,
Well,
but it's worth $1 billion.
the crazy thing about art too is like you have this seascape by Rembrandt, and you know it's valued at, let's say, $80 million or something. You're like, yeah, but like it's missing. Everyone knows about it. Who the fuck can you sell this to?
Yeah,
It's got to be like the only way.
a dark web, not a dark web, but like, you know, the guy who runs Iran probably won't care
exactly.
that you stole it.
Like
you know?
El Chapo's like,
Yeah.
go get me that Rembrandt. You're
Right,
like,
right.
Okay,
That's how you find out
that
that they-
shit
yeah.
is dope. If it was like a cartel guy, he's like, oh, you're looking for that shit? It's right here, man.
Of course, and you know they have those too. They're like, this is the original.
Yeah.
I mean, Saddam Hussein had like, remember they got into their palaces and he had like all kinds of crazy shit like that.
Stolen stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just like,
What did Saddam Hussein have?
like I wish I had an inventory list, but good God,
There's got to be something. There's
so
gotta
much
be.
fun shit. Yeah, I mean, I remember like I'm going in there and like being like, holy fuck, at all this shit inside there. There's a museum. Where is that museum?
Displays bizarre belongings of Saddam Hussein.
Where?
A decade after Saddam Hussein's capture and 7 years since his execution, his legacy in the United States is relegated to random display of memorabilia. Scroll down.
Like if he was still alive, he'd be like, I have the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Like he would have had that like
For sure.
you know, before it came out.
Yeah. Keep scrolling.
He was into that kind of shit.
Go back a
I
little
have
bit.
I have the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman suit. You know, stuff like that.
Okay. It's one of the bizarre, let's say, while the deposed dictator was known for his opulence, it's these obscure oddities turning up in lesser known museums that are giving Americans a personal insight into one of history's most notorious despots. It's one of the most bizarre spoils of war, the curator of the Old Courthouse Museum in Vicksburg, Mississippi said.
I got to make a trip.
It said of Saddam's porcelain sink being ready for display in the coming weeks.
Oh, well, that's dumb. Don't tease me with this.
Yeah. Holmes said that the sink was liberated from one of his homes in 2003, donated a few weeks ago by a group of American soldiers.
No. There is so much more shit.
Can you not find, like...
There was, like...
what valuable stuff he had? Like, can you not do a Google search of that?
I'm going to do one in mine, too. Watch. Let's race each other.
Oh, well, I'm betting on you. I mean, it'll be fucking 2025 before he comes up with it.
I'm obsessed with that kind of shit. Like, I want to know what porn they confiscated from Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, that was always interesting,
like,
too.
Who were his ladies? Who was he into?
If it was,
Do we have the same
like
taste?
only cream pies, he's like, that's what I'm into.
What if he had, like, a specific woman where he was like, he's like, Mia Malkova really does it for me, and like she got to live knowing that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
You know what I mean?
Bin Laden jerked off to her.
Yeah.
Spoils of war. That's what you Google? Saddam Hussein spoils of war.
I'm trying.
You're terrible.
I know. I am getting better though, just a little bit better. Teensy bit. The teensiest bit.
But I know he had just insane. Oh wait, here's one.
It's still up there.
I was Googling something myself. This might go to show that I'm no better than Nadav, but I thought this said top weird possessions they found, but it was just it was like one of these top 10 lists about Saddam Hussein. Fact number 4, he wiped out an entire civilization.
When he gassed, like the nerve gas?
Yeah, that followed, by the way, the fact that they didn't have that number 1. The number 1 was he penned a best-selling romance novel.
What? Saddam?
Well, I mean, it was best-selling in fucking Iraq.
Iraq, yeah.
It wasn't like it was over here and then he's doing like, Regis and Kelly. Like, this is my new book.
Is there not a list of like art that he owned? Like,
he definitely had movies and stuff like that. I remember them finding like reels, cinema reels, and like he was into Western culture. Like they all are. That's so funny. The funniest part about it to me is like every dictator, even up to Stalin, like Western films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kim Jong-un loves American cinema.
Yeah. It's like, so there's some, I mean, well, I don't know. We act like that's crazy, but it's really not crazy at all.
This is good.
What's that?
This is good. Took you 15 minutes, but this is good. Let's see. Can you make that bigger? Looted antiquities sees the United States return.
Now there we go.
Well, let's see. Can you scroll down a little?
Yeah, we have to see the list. Was that a like a bust of something?
I'm not sure here. Let's see. These are objects looted from Saddam Hussein's palaces in the aftermath of the American invasion will be repatriated too. We're
that's
talking about abroad. Yeah,
it?
I guess we have.
Looting. We don't tolerate looting.
No, but it doesn't say what it was.
It's a little hard to find.
They stole all kinds of shit. They even stole cash. I remember there was like boxes of cash and shit like that, and like gold Kugarans and stuff like that in there. And people were like jacking those, be like, "This is gold from Saddam's palace." So now there's like a big, I don't know, loss. I mean, who's suing the United States for that? I don't know.
Yeah,
but like maybe there was some guilty conscience on our part or something, and we had to give it back. Whatever. Isn't it crazy that like the insurrection on the Capitol looked like the way that they were like doing that to the palaces in Iraq? I was like, oh, they're gonna topple down some statues and shit.
Yeah,
same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It looked just like that.
What are you putting? What's this?
I'm just still. I googled.
Just you know what? Just stop.
You got it.
Didn't work out.
Yeah.
What other cool dictators had fun shit?
Well, they all just fucking take what they want. I mean, can you imagine what is in Kim? Like, we don't even know, but Kim Jong-un's like favorite shit, because we know he likes movies and the NBA.
He's got so much like NBA memorabilia.
Oh, it's got to be wild, man.
You know, Jordan like slipped him a jacket or something, like a satin jacket or something, like a Bulls jersey, some game worns. You think he's got a full kit like that guy in the?
Probably.
He wears it around. Everyone's like, "You look great." Like they have to tell him.
Oh yeah, they have to tell me like, you look like. Did you play in the NBA?
I wonder. Can you look up Kim Jong-un's basketball stats? Because I'm sure it's like 19 dunks. In this last game.
The first time he ever played, he scored 100 points.
yeah.
They had that about his dad, about Kim Jong-il's golf game. Like 9 hole-in-ones.
9 hole-in-ones. Yeah. Like an impossible score. Like he scored like a 12 on 18
He was
holes. You're
over.
like, wait, what?
He was just like over the game immediately. Like he conquered it immediately.
Yeah. He's an expert at everything. He doesn't shit like any.
Yeah.
That was another thing.
That's cool.
So now that any doesn't shit, I go, well, I guess it's not that hard. Kim Jong-il probably didn't shit either.
Yeah.
He had a lot more stresses. What's that say?
This is craziest, outrageous Kim Jong-un facts and rumors.
Well, they're not facts. None of them are facts.
Yeah. Well, they are there. That's for sure.
yeah. Touche.
His trademark haircut is reportedly one of 28 approved cuts for men in North Korea.
28?
Yeah, and even has a name. It's called Ambitious. It was reportedly a shout out to his grandfather, Kim Il-sung.
Now that's a fucking flex.
Yeah, that's a big flex.
He's got like the South Korean Rachel.
Look at this. Even Kim's love life is shrouded in mystery. He reportedly married 23-year-old former cheerleader.
Damn.
There?
Where?
He was reportedly romantically involved with pop star Hyun Sung-woo, whose hit songs included I Love Pyongyang. Apparently a quick way to the dictator's heart.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't matter if she's on board or not.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know what I mean? He's like, I'm going to date the biggest pop star in the country.
Yeah,
What's
here
she
we go.
going to say? No?
No, of course. In 2020, he ordered all pet dogs to be confiscated in the capital of Pyongyang, saying that pooches represented Western decadence, but their owners feared their Fidos were really just headed for someone's dinner table amid a food crisis.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But they don't fucking like. I love how they just tell you that and they don't tell you like.
Did
what
you like how
happened.
they cutesied it up? By
Yeah,
the way,
they
they
sure
were like,
did. Fido.
the locals were worried Fido would end up on their dinner table.
Now, him and
That's
his
what
dad-
happened. There's such a food shortage that they rounded up the dogs
Oh,
and
dude.
murdered them and fed them to the poor people.
He probably took the dogs and like, who gave us their dogs? And they're like, I did. And he's like, kill that person first. Like, make sure you kill the people that had dogs. So him and his dad. Scroll down. Stop. So Kim Jong-il also had like a real like fun time.
Yeah.
In the palace with chicks, with booze, with food.
It was that whole movie that Seth.
It
what's
says
his nuts
that.
made about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Kim reportedly keeps a pleasure squad of girls as young as 13.
Hell no.
Who are sometimes plucked from classrooms and undergo a battery of tests to confirm they're virgins. In
Oh, my
2016
Lord.
alone, he spent $3.5 million on lingerie and costumes for his harem, while also spending lavishly on booze and fine foods. And he's especially fond of cheese. He looks like he's fond of cheese.
Yeah.
And he
So doesn't
loves
shit.
cognac, wine, essential cheese. Emmental. What is that? Emmental cheese?
That's I've heard of that in fancy restaurants.
His gorging has him tipping the scales at roughly 300 pounds. God damn.
Harems are cool, but keep them above 18. That's all.
Keep them, make them queens above 18.
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
all about harems, but above 18 only, sir.
Of course. It's like, because didn't El Chapo do that too?
Was he dipping down below the...
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that something out of like, I've gotten all the chicks and I want to do something wild?
Yeah,
Is that
I
like
think
eating
so.
people or whatever? Like, because I was trying to think like who the chillest guy would hang out with would be, and probably be Saddam.
You think so?
Yeah. Out of all of them, he probably... Because I don't think that's... Can you see if Saddam was a pedophile? Probably wasn't, right? I'm going to hope not. He had like 900 sons, remember? They made a movie about all them. Saddam's sons.
I don't know, man.
They were fucking... You think Hunter Biden's doing blow and shit. I mean, the Saddam kids were
CIA
wild.
had a plan to portray Saddam as a pedophile. This
Oh my
says.
God.
That's
Who else
fucking-
are they doing that shit to? You
Jesus
know what I
Christ.
mean?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. They were like, maybe if we make him a pedophile, they'll care.
God damn. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I do think there's something of being a dictator like
yeah.
that, and they're just like, well, what else is there? Because like I have the palace and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the food and booze I want. Yeah.
Right. Aside from the gas and the genocide part, I bet you Saddam out of all of them would been the most fun to...
The funny thing about
hang out
partying with something like that or Kim Jong Un is that you might be like, oh, this is fun, and then part of your mind would be like, what if he just feels like killing me right now?
No, I do that. Yeah, but like that's the same thing with any... It's just... that's every social interaction, though.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like, sure, they're not going to murder you, but you're hoping everyone likes you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
knowing
true.
they could kill you and knowing that they're like, you're the best man. What if they do that? You're like, God, this is awesome. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
That
yeah.
means more than anybody else doing
Yeah,
that.
sure.
If they were like, I'm so glad I have you in my life. You're like, thanks, man. This is weird. You kill a whole collection of human beings and I'm chill with you.
And then someone's like, he's like, I just want to see if I could do this. And he has like a letter envelope opening like thing, and he's like, and he sticks it in your neck. And you're like, oh.
That's how it would happen. But
Yeah.
I would at least go like, thanks for surprising me. You did it from the right, so I didn't see it coming.
This was a lot of fun, man. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So the Josh Potter Show will continue on Josh's YouTube channel. Check the description of this video. Of course, follow him on social media. See him on the road. He's got dates coming up, which we talked about. And you can follow him on Twitter or Instagram, which was at
Josh_Potter, and the Twitter is at J_Potter. They're different, but some asshole took one of each on the other side. So here we are. Here we are. But the live shows have been so fun getting back doing those. So please come out and we'll rage.
There you go. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave. No scripts, a bit of booze, amateur partology. Dirty jokes, raunchy humor, no apologies. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.